Hey guys, welcome to another installment of the Barefoot Millionaire Mastermind 200-day Mindshift Mastery Program. This is day 41, and the topic of today's program is the best communication can be found in the questions. So today's topic was something that I thought was particularly relevant because we're almost at that 25% mark, a completion mark, as we said the other day, and so that's really exciting for those of you that are participating, because it means that you've gotten the first quarter of this curriculum under your belt. And as I said, this curriculum is actually divided into 4 chunks, and so we're now getting ready to move in to a higher level of peak performance. We're getting ready to apply all of those basic skills and now start looking at how we can really create a more powerful mind shift on a daily basis, develop a new skill on a daily basis that's going to contribute to our overall performance. And that performance, for most of the participants that are here, they're looking to not just improve their performance in their personal relationships or their spiritual relationship. They're not just looking to improve their health, they're looking to improve their business performance as well. And so today is really kind of the lead-in point to that next phase. The next phase is something I'm really excited about because it's really intensive strategies and tactics toward building better communication that leads to, whether it leads to better personal relationships, business relationships, career relationships, or relationships with your general community. It always results in better performance. It results in improved or increased results, if you will. Now, so many people think that the key to effective communication, requires them to somehow make brilliant statements or make bold, creative, decisions and communicate those decisions. To know the right things to say, to always be right, or to be some sort of an authority, because that's what society tells us that we should be doing if we're going to be leaders. But that's not really how it works in the real world. And I want you guys to think for a minute of your personal relationships, your friendships, your casual acquaintances, intimate relationships, even your relationship with coworkers. And then you're going to find that the people who are the most effective, the people who always seem to be the most relaxed and who, by most counts, are people that we think of as brilliant or great to be around. They're not the people who always make the bold statements. They're the people who ask the right questions. And so what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that the key to peak performance is just to ask a lot of questions, because we've all been around that person who just seems to be, a couple fries short of a Happy Meal, or not the brightest bulb on the tree, who asks questions about every little thing, almost in an attention-seeking way. I'm talking about asking the right questions. I'm talking about asking questions that serve one purpose, and that is to find out what's needed in that situation. So when it comes to business, the what that sales professionals ask and the how that they ask it is so much more important than any sales pitch or than any marketing scheme or slick website presentation. Every single month, I work with folks who are so obsessed with making sure that they have slick presentations on their website, that they have the right pictures on their Facebook, that they have all the best information on, hang on one second here, I just want to make sure we're not having any sound issues. Okay, doesn't look like that was the problem. All right, who make sure that they have the right pictures on their social media, they have the right stuff on their website. They really focus on, I got to make sure that the whole world knows what I'm about, who I'm about, what my products are, and what I'm trying to get them to buy. And I'm going to tell you right now that all of those things are very important. They're part of your branding, but none of those things result in sales. None of those things are going to get you results. There's only one thing that's going to get you results, and that is making sure that you understand what the other person is looking for, and then find out if that's something that you can, a need that you can fulfill. And we've said all week long, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's a need that you can fulfill, but it doesn't sell your product. And that's okay, because that establishes one further deepening, one more brick in that Taj Mahal that you're building of a relationship with that person. So that when the time comes that you do have something that can solve a need for them, that person feels beholden to you. They feel comfortable with you. They know and trust you, and they're going to come to you for that solution. Why would they want to go anywhere else? But it's about knowing the right questions. And so today's focus was really designed to get you to start looking at the questions that you're asking. We're going to spend an entire week next week unpacking this. This week unpacking this concept of asking questions. And so you guys are going to want to have a notebook ready, because and you're going to want to listen to the replay even if you're on live, because there's a lot of information that I'm going to try and squeeze into a 2-week period of time. And the reason for that is that it's now time that you've really begun to, especially the folks that are participating actively, you've begun to uncover the basic skills. And I've watched you applying them in your daily lives. I'll give a shout out to Ita, who posted something on Facebook today. It was a perfect demonstration of really understanding the concepts we're teaching. So now it's time, out of service to those folks, to serve them in the next level, the next area of need that arises. And that next area of need is very clear to me, and that is helping to know how to use question-based selling, how to use question-based relationship building, question-based results and performance in order to improve the results that they're getting in their lives. So that's going to be the focus today. I just want you to kind of spend the rest of the day being mindful of the interactions all around you. Look at who's asking questions. The folks, the hacks out there who try to teach how to use Facebook more effectively, they're going to tell you you're going to get better results on Facebook if you ask questions. And that's absolutely correct. But then they tell people, ask questions like, what's your favorite color? If you could have a cat or you could have a dog, which one would you have? What was your first car? All of those things are nice icebreakers, but they don't do anything to deepen the relationship with the people that you're already connected to on a daily basis. And after a while, they become tedious, they become annoying, and they get ignored. So we're not talking about just asking tedious questions. We're talking about look around you at the people who ask questions that really do get engagement, the kind of questions that really make people start to think. Look at Jennifer's blog, Jennifer Baldwin. If you haven't seen the Trainwreck Mom blog, you need to go check it out, because she asks questions in her blog every day. She doesn't just share from her own experience, but she really entices those readers to really dig and look at themselves, look at their own situations. So these are the kinds of things. I want you to be mindful. I want you to look around and just kind of take note of what you find all around you. And you're going to find that the people that you connect to, if there's somebody that you particularly enjoy engaging with on social media, I want you to take a look at their social media wall, their Facebook wall, their Twitter wall, their Snap feed, and take a look at what that person does. I guarantee you that you're going to find a certain percentage of what they do on a daily basis and overall over the course of a week has to do with asking questions, with challenging people to dig and find an area of need, or to dig and share an opinion or a feeling. Because sometimes the questions that we ask are not just about finding out what that person's needs are. It's about helping that person discover their needs by sharing some of how they feel, some of what they think, some of what they're looking for. And so that's going to be the focus. Ita, if you're at a place where you have access to a camera or to your microphone, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the idea of questions, because you're certainly somebody who's begun to use those strategies, and you're starting to see results, results in your life. So what are some of your thoughts?
Hi, Jean-Michael. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. I'm on a different device today, and I don't know what the settings are. I wasn't sure if you knew it was me that was on, but I don't know why there's no picture up. Um, yes, I regarding the asking questions, I'm not I'm not let's put it this way. I don't have the all the words for um putting out grand statements about the business. I don't have, I'm not, it's not that I'm not educated, but it's just I don't have those, what I would say over here in Ireland, the highfalutin words that people use when they're branding and putting out statements about their business. I don't have any of that. But what I do have, which has worked when you look at the other side of it, I've had 2 years in a business of trying to follow what everyone else is telling me to say and do and how to advertise. So I wasn't putting myself into the business. I was listening to following what other leaders that have done, and they've done it years and years ago, as you have brought out in our Mindshift series. They worked years and years ago, but not anymore. When it's in social media, you need to be you for your fans and for your audience, because if you're not you, you're not genuine, and they can see through that. So copying and pasting from other people and from leaders that are telling you to copy and paste, and it was easy to do that for 2 years, but I got nowhere in any of, I didn't interact. I didn't know about interacting with my audience. I didn't put up any personal stuff on any of my pages or my profiles. um and so now with the Mindshift series that you're teaching us, I've realized that what was missing from my business was me. Um, I wasn't there for my customers, and my customers and my fans, because I don't have just businesses online. So now I've started putting myself in there. It was frightening at first, but now that I've started putting myself in there as a person, although I was putting the time in for 2 years, I wasn't putting myself in there, and I got nowhere with it. And now that I'm putting myself in there, the same time is being spent, but I'm actually putting myself in there and thinking about what I'm saying to everyone and asking them questions, getting to know what they want rather than the end goal of me thinking what was the end goal of trying to sell. That doesn't work anymore at all. So I'm really looking forward to learning now this week about what questions are good to get out there to get connected with our fans.
Excellent. Excellent. There's uh, there's a whole process that's going to be involved in this, and today I'm going to go over just a couple of what the topics are that are coming our way, and we're going to talk about what that means for us. But as we start to look at this topic today, the best communication is found in the questions. The next question that arises from that is, well, what are those questions that we should be asking? And so we're going to talk tomorrow, for example, about increasing your probability for success by understanding the right questions. And I think what Ita shared is so relevant. Is an idea of not knowing the highfalutin questions to ask, or the highfalutin statements to make. And I'll tell you that knowing those kinds of statements isn't going to increase your productivity at all. And the proof in that was that for a couple years, she was copying and pasting what she was being told by the ones who supposedly knew the highfalutin, statements to make, the posts to make, the magic words for advertising. And I'm going to tell you right now, none of that is as important as understanding the question process. And that question process and this doesn't just apply to sales. I think I mentioned a couple days ago that I encountered somebody the other night, and in meeting this person who was absolutely delightful, I was asking questions about them because I wanted to get to understand them, to know them, to appreciate where they were coming from. And so these questions had no agenda other than understanding. And when we left, that person said how much they enjoyed meeting me and how brilliant I was. And I promise you, I didn't bring anything else to that table. except asking the right questions, maybe sharing a story or two in the process to let them know that there was common ground there. But it wasn't about me, impressing them with who I am. It was more about me impressing upon them that I really wanted to know who they were. So we're going to talk tomorrow about increasing your probability for success. We're going to talk about on Wednesday. We're going to talk about mismatching, which is one of the easiest obstacles to avoid. Yet 90% of the people who try to approach an online business or a small business, entrepreneurial pursuits, end up getting in trouble and losing sales, losing customers because of mismatching. And we'll talk on Thursday about the herd effect, and on Friday we're going to talk about gold medals and pit bulls. Then on next week we're going to talk about conversational strategies. We're going to talk about ways that we can build our business. Oh, on Friday, I'm sorry, we're going to talk about helping identify the prospect's needs. We're going to talk about becoming more aware of what's going on all around us. Friday's going to be sort of an inner alchemy program and sort of a Mindshift mastery program, because I want just once, kind of experimentally, I want folks to see that there's not a line of distinction between the work we do on a spiritual level and the work that we do on a business level, but that when we begin to incorporate those things, everything comes together. And so then next week, because it's the beginning of a holiday week in the United States, on Monday we are going to talk about what I like to call gold medals and pit bulls, and that's something I think is going to be exciting and mind blowing for folks, because there are two approaches that one of which always gets missed in the process of trying to help that prospect to make a decision. And we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go on from there. So there's this entire process that we're going to unpack that surrounds the concept of using questions to get to understand that person better, to serve that person more effectively. And that's what this is all about. I mean, I know this is the week. I believe this is the week that Jennifer is away in Philadelphia. And we certainly miss her. I am very happy to share with everybody that this morning, Dr. Deborah Cannon had her knee replacement surgery. I talked to her at about 11 o'clock. She was out of surgery. She was back in her room, and the surgery went extremely well. And she seemed to be in good spirits. So keep her in your thoughts as her recovery continues. Same thing with our friend, Dr. Randy Hassan, who just went through hip replacement surgery. He's up and just crazy, all about getting out of the house and getting back to normal. So we're thrilled for your healing, Randy, as well. And that's in a nutshell. Today's topic was one that I just wanted to kind of put it out there so you guys can be aware today, because tomorrow it's going to be much more helpful if you can come to the conversation and talk about what you noticed today. Who are the people that have the greatest influence on you? Who are the people you think are brilliant? And did you go to their Facebook wall and look and see that those people are people who start conversations? They ask questions. They're constantly trying to find out more about other people as a means of letting those other people know that they matter. And that, again, I'll close up today by saying that that's the key, guys, is that this next week or next 2 weeks worth of material can be some of the most powerful and results producing material that we have in the program in the entire first quarter of the program. It's my favorite way to wrap up that quarter is to wrap it up with a bang, but it'll only happen if you genuinely care. So this is a point in the program when I generally, very seldom do we see people like some of the flakes that were here and gone, whose agendas got exposed early on. Usually this is the week that they take off, because this is the week that I say, if you don't really care about people, if you're not really about fostering and cultivating relationships with people, then this is the wrong program for you. And I would suggest that small business or direct sales or network marketing is the wrong industry for you. because these types of livelihoods, just like doctors and healthcare professionals and coaches, these are ways of livelihood that require compassion, service to other people, and a genuine desire to help others. And they're the kinds of industries that also, at times, draw people in who just are looking for ego gratification. They're looking for recognition. They're looking for self-aggrandizement. And none of those things are appropriate to what we're doing. So this would be the time when I would chase the people off that are, really not applying things that we're sharing in their own lives. But for those of you who are applying, and I recognize you, and I know that some of you that are applying these strategies, you're watching the programs, you're doing your homework, you're doing all the work, and then I see that on your Facebook posts. And you may not participate live, maybe you're not comfortable participating live, maybe you're working, whatever the situation might be. I just want to recognize you as well, because you're just as valuable to this program, and I'm just as grateful. But for those who are participating on a daily basis, of course, they're adding so much more value to all of us that I particularly want to thank Ita. I thank Jennifer, who's on the road. I want to thank Deborah, who can't be here, Sandy, who's on the road and said she'd like to be back with us hopefully next week. And we want to, we really want to just encourage you guys today to just be mindful of what's going on around you. Take some notes so that when you come in tomorrow, we can talk a little bit about that, about what you noticed on social media. And then I'm going to start sharing some of these concepts with you that I think are just going to get you guys so excited. So go ahead and read the blog post. I give a little bit more background on what we're doing, and then you'll start to see the idea developing. And you'll want to have notebook and paper if it's not convenient to take notes during this time because you got the kids or you got you're at work and you're watching this on your lunch break. Definitely watch this on the replay and be ready to take some notes, because these are going to be some ideas, including some phrases, including some verbiage that you can start using to deepen that cultivation of relationships by asking the right questions. So Ita, thank you for being here today, and for everybody who's watching on the replay or watching live on the remote broadcast, thank you for participating, and we'll look forward to you guys being with us tomorrow at the same time. When we get to next week, on Monday is a U.S. holiday, so I will be traveling. We won't be having a session on Monday, but on Tuesday we're doubling up. So our session may go 45 minutes, just to kind of let everybody know. Could even possibly go as long as an hour, but it's a big topic, and so we're going to be doubling up and do the Monday and Tuesday session all at once. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern time. Know that I love and appreciate you. And Reverend Robert Brzezinski said he will either be back with us this Friday. If not this Friday, it'll be next Friday. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Stay in the moment. Be grateful for everything you've got. And always remember, the best is yet to come. We'll talk to you soon.